Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Black Clover episode 146. So, last episode was pretty good. We had the reveal that some of the members were devil believers rather than what were they called before? They were the devil banishers or whatever. And their goal was to get a hold of the devil's power through Asta's grimoire, and they got it now. They took care of all the members that didn't, or that were, believed in the opposite of what they believed in, kind of thing. And the ones that remained were able to contact our magic knights and let them know. So I talked in length a bit in the last discussion about how I kind of hope this goes. I hope they try to tap into the strength of the devil, and the devil be like, no, Asta's the only one I want, and just, kill them or something. But either way, I'm excited to see where this goes, and I feel like we could be getting close to the end of this arc, or, I mean, it could also stretch on for a bit more, depending on the strength of these guys, and if they manage to harness some of the power and gain strength, we could have, a serious fight. But yeah, I'm excited, so let's get started, shall we? We're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oy, 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 oy. I need some water. What if this is going to be the new opening, for a while? Because it seemed to change for this arc. So I feel like maybe it'll go back at the end of this arc. I still don't fully understand the relevance of that beginning bit, right? I feel like most of the people, like I said, people that have very little magic just trying to survive. But I feel like these devil believers aren't that. Right? Their magic has been pretty strong so far for, all the people in the group. I'm kind of looking forward to learning more about why they believe in the devil, too. I had my theories about that. I talked about in the discussion, the last one, too. I guess we'll see. Here it is. Yeah. I should use that as a background. Just Charlotte blushing with Yami super close. Those who worship the devil. Alright, that sounds like an episode where we might learn more about him, maybe. Oh. Okay. Thank you, narrator. Oh. Oh, that was his attack that did that? Hmm. They give them each other that look. So they're the worshippers, so they don't want someone they believe to be a devil to be killed, right? Hmm. Is this... Did they not give her a pain medicine? Give her something else? Shit! Is she dead? How did it affect him? Oh, that's a scene we saw before. Is it like in... Did they poison the water? Is that what they did? Oh, so there's more of them, are there? Interesting. So it's not just those two. Funny thing is, I don't feel like you need to turn it over for them to look like devils. They really do just turn the mask over, don't they? Well, I was just talking about how the barely used magic doesn't really come in. Alright. So what happened? Damn scheming kids. So you rob someone that's like you of their power in order to gain power. Oh shit! They just stabbed him. Okay, yeah, the mask looks super goofy upside down. Well, did they leave Sekrai? Shit, I didn't look. My bad. That's writing something down. Okay, and this is where we saw last episode. The Devil Believers. And we're back. Alright. All caught up. Jeez. What details does he have? Alright. They must still have Narrow, okay. Or Separate. Yeah, that was my bad. I don't know if we saw them take her or not. I was too busy writing. If he's not here, if she's not here, then yeah. I was thinking it was just gonna be Bo and shit. What was her name? Dazu. That were the devil believers, but there's a few others too. My best friend. God damn it, Gordon. uh... Ugh. The girl they swooned before. Ghost. My best friend. Yeah, he did. Alright. She is blushing. Not really learning much here. Other than she just can't use magic much. Ah, the girl they saw before. They're gonna know who it is now. They were so close to her. Hmm. Right. This is exactly what I talked about in the discussion of last episode. Hmm. Well, shit. An afterthought. Well, shit. I didn't think about that. That's complicated. Oh, gosh. Just this once. Get your ass over here. I love Yemi. Uh... Oh my god, they're taking the mansion. Jesus. That thing looks so wonky. Oh my god, look at that thing. Into the Forsaken Realm, damn. Why are we getting the narrator talking? We still have time, don't we? Damn. Guess we're just montaging past all the searching. Huh. Oh, people are disappearing? Is this the Forsaken Realm? Do people live in the Forsaken Realm? I can't remember. Well, shit. Conspiracies, damn it. Ooh, so people are disappearing because they're joining them. That's what's happening. Jeez. Well, the good opinion that people had of Asta is now being twisted. I hate that. I loved how people like looked up to Asta, but now they're doing it for the wrong reasons. Well, the more people they get, the harder it'll be to hide, right? Okay. Alright. Jeez. Oh, a bunch of people. Must be them, right? Jeez. It's your end. Alright. Interesting. I will say, this episode wasn't as good for me. Part of the problem, I've felt it a couple times during this arc, is we are told a lot of info about the characters. Like, we knew almost everything about Bo and Dazu before this episode, and then we just spent like a good chunk of this episode having the characters learn. And then that was also the case. There was another episode when the like when we knew about the devil believers, I think it was, and all those people and their abilities and stuff like that, because we were shown, and then they also went and told us in like the meeting with all the captains and everything. So it's like, hold on, that is it, guys, for episode 146. So yeah, there's just been a couple episodes where we've spent like a good chunk of time re-explaining things that the audience already knows versus things that, you know, like, it's good to see the characters catch up, right? But I just feel like we spent a lot of time discussing. We went all the way to that lady's house. We talked with her for a while, like, brought up the whole, like, Ghost stuff again, like, a couple times, saying, like, oh, Ghost's not here. They talked about, like, what he's doing, and, you know, then the Yammy's finally, like, stop reminiscing, and then she's like, oh, I'll tell you, but just bring Ghost next time, you know? And I don't know, and then we did all that just to learn that Bo is an expert apothecary, which Gordon even said, like, we already knew that, right? And I guess, like, the one thing we learned is that they don't have, like, crazy strong magic, which, I mean, I don't think that really changes too much, right? And I think I have already pretty much assumed that because of the opening, too. Like, granted, Dazu, I think, was the only one that we really knew that her magic was, like, interesting, but not super powerful kind of thing. And then we didn't know about Bo's, so we did learn that. But I don't know. It was, like, I felt like there was a lot of points in this episode where I was like, alright, like, let's get to the next thing. And then I think the other thing that really hit me was Dazu's backstory. Like, I'm hoping there's more, because I'm holding out that there's more, because I still have my theory that that her husband and her stepmother weren't super nice to her. Like, they said this episode that, you know, the stepmother always talked highly of Dazu, and Dazu always seemed happy with her husband and everything. So it seems like a lot of that relationship was a farce, but I still got those vibes in the first episode where it felt like they were kind of talking down to Dazu a bit. And, like, I started doubting myself on that, but then after learning that they're devil believers, it was kind of like how Yami said, like, why would someone who lost their, like, husband and stepmother that they loved, supposedly loved, to devils would end up worshipping them, right? But yeah. It was, so I'm hoping there's more there, because at the moment, it seems like her backstory is simply, at least what she said so far, is that when she was younger, these kids picked on her, and so she wants to use devil power. Like, I don't know, it's not compelling to me. We've seen plenty of people be picked on. I mean, hell, Noelle has a ton of magic and is picked on. Like, it doesn't matter whether you have magic or not, like, whether you get picked on or not. It's kind of just, you know, your lot in life kind of thing. Stand up for yourself if you have a problem with it. I don't know. It was just, like, not super compelling to me, seeing that backstory of her and what she's planning on doing now because of that, right? But I will say, probably the best part of this episode is something that I personally should have thought of, but I don't think I gave this arc enough credit to tie into the Spade Kingdom stuff, because I didn't even think of the possibility that they could go to the Spade Kingdom. So that's really, really clever, but also something that maybe it's not that clever because it has to do with devils, and something I just should have thought of. But I think for me, I was thinking, you know, originally on, like, the first episode of this arc, I was like, oh, we're gonna have a cool little couple episode arc where people think that Asta's a bad guy, and then Asta shows up and changes their mind. That was my, like, original thought, right? And I thought it was just gonna be a quick little, like, few episode arc that we had. And then when I realized it was going a bit deeper than that, I guess we did just find out that they're devil believers, so it would have just been last episode, right? The other episodes, we thought they were devil banishers. They wanted to get rid of them. Seemed like they kind of wanted to spark some rebellion in the company, or in the country too, and then they changed all that, which I was happy with that change, because I had always felt like there was more sinisterness within, like, Dazu and stuff like that, rather than, and like I said, it never made sense, the whole, like, family killed by devils, yet, like, or I guess, like, I don't know, I guess it would have made sense that family killed by devils, but I got those vibes in the beginning where it seemed like her family wasn't nice to her, so then I had the thought of, like, oh, maybe she maybe she's happy they're dead when she was like snuggling up to Bo and everything. So I don't know. Like it was just one of those things where like I liked the reveal of them going to the Spade Kingdom because it was something I didn't really expect, like I said, because I underestimated the arc a little bit. But it makes perfect sense that instead of trying to harness the power of that grimoire themselves and potentially getting hurt, I feel like it's very smart, because that was my thought. I thought they were going to be like, oh, we want the power of the devil. Let's try to use this grimoire and communicate with the devil within. And I thought the devil was going to be like, you guys suck, and just like kill them or something. And that was going to be their fate, or like do something like bad to them. Like, I don't know. But instead they're being pretty smart about it. They're going to the kingdom, the Spade Kingdom, offering up this grimoire that has a devil in it to the Spade Kingdom, which are all about utilizing devils. So I wonder if they could, utilize the one within the book, or if they'd kill it so it's not a threat to them, kind of thing. And also offer up Sekrai as well, which once again, I don't know if they would use her or just kill her so she's not a threat anymore, because they talked about her magic is like that arcane stage magic, which is, the more people like that, the more of a threat the other country becomes to the Spade Kingdom, right? So, but yeah, I definitely like that development, but it felt like we spent a whole episode just to get that development and stuff like that. And I like that we sped through the searching, like had the narrator just be like, hey, they looked for quite a while and everything, and letting us know that time has passed, and it's not just like, oh, we suddenly found them, right? Also, is the Forsaken Realm, I feel like they've mentioned that before, that's still part of the Clover Kingdom, right? I believe it is. It's part of like the Clover country, not the kingdom, because the kingdom is like the castle town, right? But like the Forsaken Realm, I think, is still part of the country, because there's like the Clover country, the Spade, Diamond, and Heart, right? And so I'm pretty sure that the Forsaken Realm, because I'm pretty sure they've said that where Asta is from is part of the Forsaken Realm as well. So I just had that a little bit confused in my mind before, because I was thinking because when they said Forsaken Realm, they showed like a desert looking thing, like all stone and rock and all that. So I thought it was somewhere where like no one lived, and then it cut to them being in like greenery with houses and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, do people live in the Forsaken Realm? And I was thinking it was like a separate thing. I was thinking there was like this section that was between the Clover's territory and the Spade's territory, and there was like a bunch of dead space in between that no one lived, which I think that's the anti-magic, or not the anti-magic, but the strong magic region that they're like right on the border of at the end of this episode. But yeah, I guess the other thing was that the logic of, I mean, obviously it's they're being selfish in the first place, so it's not that surprising. But it's funny how they're like, oh, we don't have power, so we're gonna take power from someone else who also doesn't have power. And like, it's like they looked up to Asta of him being able to achieve this power, and then like the object of their affection they just took away from the guy, right? Because they wanted the power instead. So basically they're robbing someone of their power in order to gain it for themselves, kind of thing. It's definitely very selfish, which is also another aspect that isn't as redeeming. It's not like they're like they're not against Magic Knights and they're like, oh, but we're okay with you, Asta, because you're like us, where you didn't have any magic and you worked hard for it, whereas all these other people are just blessed with strong magic, being born with strong magic. And but no, like, instead they're like, oh, we're gonna rob Asta of this thing. And I mean, part of their goal was to capture Asta as well and hand him over to the Spade Kingdom. So that, I think that's just another aspect that makes it a little less redeeming of their characters. Like, I like to enjoy a good bad guy, but they just seem shitty. But I mean, overall, the episode was alright. Like I said, like, I think the episode was good, except for those two parts where we kind of like spent a lot of time catching up with things we already knew. You know, that's always like, that's why it's always good to learn things as the characters learn them, but instead they decided to give us a perspective, like a lot of perspective on the devil believers prior to the characters catching up to that point. But then they also had us watch the characters catch up to that point, and you never want to have both. You either want to have the audience learn with the characters, or skip over the characters learning and just have them be like, oh, I found some new info on Bo and Dazu, skip past it, and maybe like one line have it be like real fast have a sentence be like, oh, so Bo and Dazu don't have much magic, and you know, Bo's an expert apothecary. They could have done like one sentence like that, and that would have covered like half this episode, right? But anyway, it's fine. I enjoyed it for what it was and everything. Obviously, I think this is probably, I'm not going to say this is the only episode that I felt was like a little slower in Black Clover, but majority of the time Black Clover isn't a slow show like this, so I don't find any fault with the show as a whole, right? It doesn't make me like the show as a whole any less, because they do a really good job of keeping things interesting. Honestly, they keep things so interesting that for the most part, except for the ones that are extremely obvious, I don't really notice any filler. Like, some of these arcs could be filler arcs that aren't in the manga, and I wouldn't have any idea, because it feels like they fit and flow so well. So as a whole, Black Clover is a great show and all that. You know, you're just not going to hit every episode, you know, perfectly. So it's perfectly fine. But yeah, I think that's really all I have to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see all kinds of extra content on there. You can see that link in the description below, or it should be popping up on the screen. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.